is Wanadia Mawada binti Wan Ahmad Nasim, and I'll be explaining for my part for the office layout, which is sanitization and a lot more. Okay, what is sanitizing station? Sanitizing station is a convenient way to ensure one of the main defenses against the spread of disease. Staying sanitized while in public. It offers quick dispensing of sanitizing supplies from wipes to liquids, plus it's easy and identifiable marker to protect your health from somebody. So the second one, is it important? The answer is yes. Why? Because staying sanitized can help you fight a bacteria or some of the most dangerous virus. So it is important to stay sanitized and keep your health okay. Do we put some of the sanitizing station there? Okay, the main area is because if the workers before entering the building they must be sanitized, and it is easier for them to sanitize before working. So it is important, and before entering the building you have to sanitize, because from the outside we never know what bacteria they have and the virus could be on them. How could the sanitizing can help us prevent from having a COVID-19? It is because if you wear a sanitizer, it can reduce the germs from your hand or the areas that you have been touching. So you might be touching a surface from the outside and it might be having the germs from the virus. So it helps to kill the germs, 99% of it. Screened by who? It is from recommending from the doctor, saying that if you have sanitized and stuff like that, it can reduces the cost of you having a COVID-19. One of the important thing that you have to do when entering a building, you have to screen you have to scan your MySejahtera, because it can help you know that whether you have a high risk or a low risk before entering the building. Okay, next is screening station. What is the purpose of screening station? Screening station is basically when we check the workers, their temperature, whether they have a high fever or they have a normal temperature before entering the building. Where do we put the screening station? The screening station is basically the same place as the sanitizing station, because right after you check your temperature, you need to be sanitized and it can be entered the building itself. Next thing is what is conference room? The conference room that is arranging for the office is 1 to 3 people, because the conference room is for a meeting that is large or small meeting for the workers. But for the room itself, it only allows for 3 people, because it can reduces the risk of having a COVID-19 and needs to be social distancing between the workers. Why do we put partitions in the conference room? It is because, for example, a worker is sneezing or cough, it can help to prevent exposed to another worker. How can partition help the workers prevent of having a COVID-19? Partition are proposed to serve two clinical functions, which is intercepting the respiratory droplets that are thought to transmit the virus, reinforcing physical distancing requirement even when users are unwilling to or forgetful of having it. And the last one for the conference room is scanning my Sejahtera before entering one of the rooms will help us to keep on track whether the room is a high risk of getting into it or not.
Every company must have a common area. Common area can include the lobby, breakout area or cafe. All tenants leasing space in the building will share the cost for the common areas. It's very important to have an area in your workplace so people can socialize without distracting others. An ideal common area should be separate from the main workplace and be relaxing environment. Just like a common area at home, it should include comfortable seating so employees can take a load off when they need to. There's a space type between our employees' company in a common area. The dome ceiling with metallic columns, potted plants, and a false tree create a high energy vibe with bright blue couch and tables for individual staff. Next, we have pantry. We provide this area to the staff so that they can have their own break time. At the same time, we try to help improve the air cleansing system. Consider using a portable high efficiency particulate air, which is stand for fan or filtration system. Installing no-touch activation methods is actually a very good idea. We also provide UVGI. UVGI is a method of disinfection that uses short wavelength ultraviolet light to inactive or kills microorganisms or pathogens. Essentially, UVGI is the use of light with sufficiently short wavelength to disinfect surfaces, air and water. UVGI in HVAC system can help eliminate up to 99.9% of virus and kills up to 90% of certain airborne bacteria passing through the air system. On top of that, because of this pandemic, we must keep employees come to the office, but still we have to follow the government orders, so we try to decrease our staff movement at the same time. So as you can see at the sample, we try to put a partition to separate them to keep the social distancing. Next, we move to the creative space. A dedicated creative space allows for functional or project teams collaboration without any interruptions with necessary tools and technology to support the creative process. The impact of COVID-19 makes every company have to be more creative to make sure that the staff can come to work but still keep the social distancing. First, we use method physically to employees in all areas in the building by use signs, tape marks or visual cues to show where to stand when to facing physical barriers. The office will likely to invest in hand sanitizer and other disinfectant products and create stations around of the office so people can get a quick squirt of sanitizer, get a wipe to use before a conference room meetings or the like.
Workstation. We provided gloves for the use of our employee for hygienic purpose if they are receiving parcel and packages. We also provided lidded trash bin for each employee in keeping their place clean. Why are we using rugs with red and green color is because green represents calmness and red represents passion and energy.
Workstation arrangement. Each table are 2 meters apart to ensure social distancing and to keep employees safe while working. We put plants in the office because during the day, plants absorb carbon dioxide. Indoor plants have been shown to reduce CO2 level by as much as 10% in air-conditioned office and up to 25% in those without air conditioning. We are also installing no-touch sanitizer in every wall so that it is easier for the staff to always keep sanitized. Lastly, each workstation is built with a transparent shield. This is to protect each employee from any water droplets from others. This is to ensure that employee safety from the virus to spread. Also, This is the best way to prevent the virus to spread among employees.
If you see the arrangement of the chair, why we modify it? It is because we arrange the chair for a single space for the employees less interact with other workers. We also use ultraviolet germicidal irradiation UVGI in the pantry. UVGI is kind of lights. Based on our studies, the UVGI lights was an effective method of contamination by bacteria or dangerous virus, which is it will eliminating viruses, bacteria, and other contamination in that space. Basically, we focus to the pantry because in that space where people must take off their masks while eating or drinking. In the pantry, we put common hygiene things which is auto-lid, trash bin, and soap. Automatic opening lid bins are very ideal in the pantry during this pandemic because it keeping your hands free without touching it. Last but not least, in this area, we installing an automated sanitizer because it will ease the workers to keep sanitizing before and after entering the pantry. With no touch sanitizing, it will reduce the risk of unnecessary touch. We move to the most favorite place, which is snack station. We replace high-touch communicable items like coffee makers and bulk snacks with alternatives, such as fully automatic coffee machines. Workers just need to make a choice of a coffee and it will produce the perfect cup of coffee. From grinding the coffee beans to tempering the grounds, pulling the espresso shot and frothing milk. The push of one button will trigger the entire coffee making process. From here, we can list the minimum touch from using manual coffee making in the kettle. As you can see, partitions are used in many parts of the office to keep workers aware limitation of talking or sit in distance. Basically, pantry and snack station use it in a smaller room because it has a limit from workers gathered in large of numbers at the same time, and it recommended for using get and go method.
Manager's room. To help improve air cleaning, consider using portable high-efficiency particulate air (HEPA) fan filtration system, especially in closed-plan office like manager office. This also increases the percentage of outdoor air, for example using economizer modes of HVAC operation potentially as high as 100%. We also using natural ventilation, for example, opening windows if possible and safe to do so, to increase outdoor dilution of indoor air and environmental conditions and building requirements allow.
The restroom will have to be outfitted with new touchless technologies such as taps and automatic doors to prevent germ spread, and potentially another wave of coronavirus. When it comes to restrooms or toilets, the keywords in the post-COVID-19 are touchless, which includes doors that open and close automatically. Next, the innovation of the sensor taps and fully self-cleaning cubicles designed to not require human contact. This is because technologies like touchless faucets, sensors flushes, and automatic soap dispensers improve cleanliness by reducing touch points. Lastly, splashing of aerosols could be a major cause of bacteria to spread, so we focus on technology that limits flushing like aquablade, disrupting innovation for flushing the toilet. We are moving on to the next point, which is installing more soap dispensers. It will help a lot in preventing COVID-19. This means that if paper towel dispensers are installed, a lot of more towel will be likely needed as well as soap.